Welcome to News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery.
We're so glad to have you join us this morning on the West Texas View. This is the third in our series of programs about the Commemorative Air Force. This is such a much bigger thing. We couldn't just have one or two programs. We had to have several because it's such a complex of activities and interest zones and services and facilities that you need to know about and take advantage of. And sometimes in a community, the best kept secrets are to their own citizens. You have lots of people coming in off the interstate highway just to come to the Commemorative Air Force, or flying in just to come to the Commemorative Air Force. And a lot of people in the Permian Basin have never been to the Commemorative Air Force. So after this series of programs, we want to invite you back if you've already been there, or we want you to invite you for the first time. But today we're going to be talking about the youth and education programs, and this is particularly important if you've got school kids, if you've got young adults that would be interested in some of the things that we're going to be talking about. I am delighted to introduce to you Shannon Lovett, who is the director and program coordinator for our youth activities. And then we have Clay Francel, who is the Director of Education and the Air Show. And nearly everybody's been to the Air Show because we have one of the best air shows in the whole world. And he's been working with the Air Show, I think you told me, since about 1991.
Yes, ma'am.
And so before we start, Clay and Shannon, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you got to the CAF. And let's start with you, Clay.
Well, Clay Francel. I started with the CAF when it first moved here in 1991 as a volunteer. Worked with the CAF and the museum both through that time. Went on the Air Show Committee in 92 and took over the Security and Public Safety in 92. And now I'm the director of the Air Show. So
he went from being a volunteer, doing a little bit of everything along the way, to being a paid staff member.
Correct.
And so you have to really have a lot of love and devotion that led them to choose you after you had done all this volunteer work.
Ma'am.
So you've been then the director of the Air Show and
just recently as director of Air Show. I went to work 4 years ago as a staff member with the museum on the education side. One of my former, work was as an educator in ECISD.
Good.
And so it was a perfect fit for me to come on board with the museum.
And tell us about you, Shannon.
Well, my name is Shannon Lovett, and I actually come here from California. I met my husband at Texas Tech in the museum science program, and we came out here. So the museum was one of the first places we visited, and as I was walking around, I knew that I wanted to work there someday, and lo and behold, it happened, and here I am. So
you started working as an intern, or did you actually graduate and
I graduated with my master's degree, and then came on board actually during Air Show Week.
Oh my goodness,
so
what an introduction.
Since October, and have really found a family here. So it's been wonderful.
And that's what I've found in the first two shows I did, is there is so much enthusiasm and dedication for this, and also such a family feeling among the staff and the volunteers that came across really heavily. And Shannon, I want to start with you talking about your programs, and I'm going to ask you some open-ended things that I think that our audience would like to hear, but you just fill in for anything you want to. So tell us a little bit about the things that you direct.
We're working at the development program coordinator with the museum. The museum is actually the educational affiliate of the CAF, so that we're able to pursue our values of education and really push freedom, because that's really what we're all about, the knowledge of freedom and military aviation history. Through that, we're able to actually create a lot of different programs. We have the Aviation Cadet Academy program, we have Foot Locker programs, we have different seminar programs, and this really allows us to kind of reach out to the community, children and those who like to believe they're children all over, and be a part of our organization.
And when you say reach out, you're talking about all over the Permian Basin,
Almost
whether
definitely.
it's in Texas or New Mexico.
Come visit us, please.
Well, I want you to get a little bit more into some of those specific things that you mentioned, the Aviation Cadet Academy, for example.
Well, our Aviation Cadet Academy has actually been around for quite a while, but new this year we actually have involved the Texas Education Knowledge. Sorry, we've been able to do the TEACS program, and so that really
so you're really encompassing the curriculum from Texas Education Agency.
We actually offer the Aviation Cadet Academy 2 different ways. Number one, your kiddos can come out to us for the summer. We have a 4-day program for half day. It's for 11 to 15-year-olds, so they can come on out and spend the week with us. We offer that 3 times during the summer, and if that's not a possibility, or if you want to do it twice, kids can also come out with their schools. This is for 10 through 12-year-olds. So this is a teacher program. So teachers can come on out and give us a phone call, and we actually have 4 different modules that the kids are going to learn. We have dynamics of flight. We have survival, we have a walk into history, and our last one is air combat maneuvers. And that's everything from dynamics of flight, instead of, some people play with their spoons on their nose or rub themselves with forks, but we actually play with our utensils too. We use styrofoam plates. And so we actually learn about aerodynamics and build our own planes.
So it's really a science class and an aviation class and a history class.
Everything under the sun. It's wonderful. It's the most wonderful program. Survival. Kids can learn to use a compass. This is not GPS in your car. This is actually the real compass that you hold in your hand. Kids are going to be able to learn things that they don't actually get the opportunity to do anymore. A walk into history really allows you to immerse yourself in the culture of the 1940s. Kids today, their grandparents actually were not living during World War II. The generations are starting to pass by, and so children today just don't have as much knowledge as the rest of us do.
And they didn't realize we didn't always have airplanes.
There we go.
But tell me a little bit, so because we're in almost getting to springtime, and isn't it time to start registering or filling out applications for the summer program?
Call. Most definitely. We are still taking, of course, all the time, taking applications for schools to come out and visit us. And then you can check us out on our website.
It's on the screen.
There we go.
So, yeah, good.
Check us out at the website. We're the fun little green tab when you go to this website. And if you check it today, you might not see it. But if you come back in a month, I promise you we're going to have an amazing website. We're under construction right now. So just go ahead and check us out there.
But there's 2 websites, so one or the other will be up. And one of the things that before we take a break is that we really want to encourage hurry to get your applications in, because summer will be here before you know it.
Most definitely.
And then you can already start talking to teachers about lining up times for next year.
And we have a bunch of wonderful things coming up for the fall.
We're going to come back and talk to Shannon and some more, and talk to Clay about his programs in just a minute. Join us then.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.